Through this example, we're going to look at multiplying fractions, specifically this part B. In general, when we multiply fractions like, say, A over B times C over D, we multiply numerator times numerator, so A times C, over denominator times denominator, so B times D. And we could apply that logic here in this particular example. So for instance, applying that logic is kind of the same thing as saying, okay, I'm going to look at this as an entire fraction where I'm multiplying all the numerators together and all the denominators together. But the issue is that number is going to get very large very quick. So what we like to do instead is look for common factors that can be reduced. So for instance, I do see one immediately here that could be reduced, and that's 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So in other words, we can mark those out. Some people say cancel them out. But really the reason why we're marking them out is because 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times anything does not change that thing. Next, I see a 2 and a 7 in the denominator, and 2 times 7 is the same thing as this 14. So I can use the same logic. I can mark these out because 14 divided by 14 is 1. And what I'm left with is just the whole number 18. Now, if you want to be really technical, you could say, well, 18 over 1, because when we mark these things out, again, remember I said that those left us with numbers like 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1, but 18 divided by 1 is just 18. And I just want to make one final note that this is not the only way to reduce the problem within the problem before multiplying numerators and denominators. For instance, I could have focused on the 2 and the 18. Say, for instance, marking out this 2 and marking out a 2 from the 18, or dividing 18 by 2 and being left with 9. That could have been another possibility. I'm not going to go through that process here, but just to let you know as a note, there are multiple ways that you can reduce the problem within the problem and then multiply in the end. The idea here is going to be used extensively in this course. This idea, this process of reducing a fraction within the problem before you multiply. So this is an excellent skill to have.